Welcome back to day 17 of 29 days love challenge. Whew, it's been a run.
Oh,
I want to welcome back my lovely wife
that would be me.
to the 29-day love challenge. And it was a long week without her. And
You weren't without me.
I mean, you was watching, but
Oh, you mean on the
on the
show
show,
without
yeah.
you?
But we want to welcome you to the Love Revolution and acts of kindness or
Mm.
random acts of kindness. Challenge.
Oh,
Uh
did you
oh.
say? You
Uh
said.
oh.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
said
sorry. What did you say? Wait. I just need you to do that one more time.
one more time.
Yeah. Wait.
All
Let's
right.
see. Okay. Ready? Go.
Challenge. Oh man, we've had some amazing guests on this week.
Yeah.
Um, they were really uh, very special opportunities. And remember, this is 29 days love challenge, and we're in day 17.
Mm.
And you can start at any time, right? You can go to Lowe's More the Blueprint on Facebook or YouTube,
Yeah.
and you can start over. I mean, you can start from day one and catch up,
Yes.
right? And like I said, I was in the 31-day wisdom challenge
Okay.
for the whole month of January. 50% of it, I was on time. I made it there.
Okay.
The other 50%, I had to catch up. They had a place where you can go back and see replays. So you
Understood.
can see replays. You can go back and see yesterday, and you can go back to see day one, right? It's still there. And we ask you to join the challenge, the
Yes.
challenge for love. I mean, if it's nothing else that was evidence that we need love, was last week during the parade for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful celebration. I said last week in the NFL, there's only going to be one at the end of the season. It's only going to be one happy team,
Yeah.
right? And that was the Kansas City Chiefs, and they were celebrating, and all of a sudden, shooting came out. They started shooting at the end of the parade, and my heart goes out to. We lost one person, and there were 21 others that were injured in that process. I mean, just senseless. But that's why we need love,
Yes.
right? If you're looking for a remnant, if you're looking for a solution, love is it. Love can
Always.
transform from one individual. All it takes is one, right? Just one person showing a random act of kindness or act of kindness, right? And we always looking for miracles when it comes to love, or miracles when it comes to an act of kindness. No, sometimes somebody just needs for you to say hello. Just stop for a moment, stop thinking about yourself, and say hello. In Joyce Meyer's book, The Love Revolution, right, she states that the cause of such hatred is selfishness. And so
Yes.
when we get our minds off ourselves and we start to think about others, right, we end up blessing that person. We are blessed to be a
Be a
blessing.
blessing.
And so, but we want to, as I shift over to my wife, we're here to change the environment. We here to shift the paradigm, right? We're here. We believe that love is a remnant, and
Yes.
that we want you to wake up in the morning not to think about what's bad on the news or what the weather is, how bad the weather is outside. We want you to wake up thinking about positive things. Oh, I'm here. That's what when in the morning when I wake up, I said, look, I'm here. I don't care if it's snowing,
Mm.
raining, hot, cold. I'm here, right? And there must be a reason why I'm here, right? And I believe that reason is to manifest love.
Absolutely.
So,
So yesterday, we went to Stony Brook University, um, to our daughter and son-in-law's basketball game. Their coach is there. And so one of my places to eat, I know it's going to be my last time there because the other games they have are Sundays, and Sundays I'm in church, so I can't go. But Friday nights, I make it my point to try to go. So I'm grateful that I'm able to leave work just a little early so that I can do that. Well, we went to a place to eat called Voodoo Crab. It's really a great place. And we were sitting down to eat and there was a couple that was sitting across from us. And at one point I noticed the lady kind of like looking at me, but I wasn't sure whether she was looking at us to kind of in a good way or not so good way.
Right.
But I just noticed the stare, right? And so it was quick, it was brief, but kind of like locked eyes. So I said to Lowe's, I said, "Hey, babe, it's time for us to do a random act of kindness. What do you think?" And he said, "Sure." I said, so we call their waitress over, and we took their ticket, their receipt, whatever it was, their bill, and we paid it. And on it, I wrote, "Random acts of kindness, 29-day love challenge, Lowe's More the Blueprint, YouTube," and I kind of put that on there. And we left. And as we got to the car, we were getting ready to drive off. The husband came outside and he was looking for us. And I said to Lowe's, "I think he's looking for us." And he looked over and he came over to the car and he goes, "I need to know, why did you do that? Why did you do that?" And we told him about the 29 days of kindness. And he shook Lowe's hand and he was like, "Wow, that's a really nice thing to do."
Mm-hmm.
And
he said, we need more love in the world.
Yeah, we need more love than he said. And then he said, he said, "I'm not sure if I'll ever see you again, but if I do, dinner's on me." He goes, "Just don't eat a lot."
Yeah,
but but it was good to see how it made him feel. And even the people in the restaurant were kind of like, wow.
Even the waitress,
she was like, "Wow, they paid," and they were like, "They paid for a meal, they paid for their meal," and they were really blown away. But it's something about being able to do that and have people feel
and
good.
we're thankful to God. We thank God for the ability to do that. We're not saying, that's not what we're saying, that you have to go out and buy somebody's dinner or pay for somebody's gas. If you have the ability to do it, and that's what God lays on your heart, you should do it.
And it doesn't have to be a meal. It could be Dunkin' Donuts. It could be a donut. It could be coffee.
Right.
But again, whatever it is, people are always so appreciative.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yes.
How's your day?
Yeah.
Smile at somebody. I mean, those are random acts of kindness. When you see the world, everybody's frowning, right? And out of nowhere, you come with a smile.
So that brings us to our guest today. I've shared with you on the show, on our previous show, many times, that this young lady is the one lady that brightens up a room every time she enters it. It's happy Monday, happy Tuesday. Matter of fact, when she goes on vacation, we challenge people in the office to kind of be, well, how come there's no Thais on the call? Because she always brings that smile to the room. So let's bring her to the room, and you guys get to experience what I've been talking about on the show for a while. A great smile, a great attitude, great energy, and she just lights us all on fire. So welcome to the Love Revolution, Thais Mitchell Carthens.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Happy Saturday. You know what?
Look at that smile. Look at that smile.
Happy Saturday, everyone. So thank you so much for presenting me and allowing me to be a guest on a podcast. It is really, really an honor. And I just have to say, in case whoever's listening, Patrice Wallace-Moore is my mentor, and I love her and her husband so dearly. And yes, I do always smile. I can't help it, but if I can share why, right? First, I want to talk about the act of kindness, right? You can see my husband sitting on the left. And he was like, "I didn't know you were going to be on a podcast." I was like, surprised. The act of kindness my husband and I do often is, even if we're in like Sam's Club and he sees like an old lady or someone, he'll just like help them with their luggage or take the groceries out the shopping cart. Periodically, like if we're going, before the tolls became tollless, we'll pay for like somebody's toll behind us. So we're constantly doing act of kindness. I like this. And when Patrice is always like, we're doing, whatever your theme is, Lo, she's always bringing it forth. So I've always do act of kindness, whether it's treating somebody to lunch, whether it's my staff, I'm always smiling. I can't help it, right? I always say happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And when I get up in the morning, I do thank God for another day. So many people lose their lives senselessly, right? Some it's nature, right? And some it's just because of just the world that we live in. So the fact that God allows me to wake up and see and I have the activities in my limbs, I'm very, very grateful. The other thing that I'm always like happy and I'm smiling is because I want to array an energy. And oftentimes people have this negative energy. And trust me, every day is not a sunshine for me. I have my days, right? But I always look at the positive side of things, right? And I think that's really, really important. And I'm so afraid that someone's negative stuff is going to jump on me. That's why I'm always smiling like, happy Monday, happy Tuesday. I give people a toothache. Trust me. They're like, you're entirely too happy. They're like, you're entirely too happy. I give people a toothache. So I don't know if you have any questions for me, but I just want to, share just a
Well,
little
let me
bit
say
about
this. Let me say this is that it's proven by science, right? That you use more muscles to frown than to smile,
But
right?
but a smile changes an energy. Taisha is not just a smiler; she's also a hugger, right? And so I think it was earlier when I think I mean, it might have been last Saturday when we spoke about this, and we talked about the frequency of sound, and that God has a frequency, and that when you're bringing love, that there's a sound that gets into God's ears, but there's also a light, and then there's also that warmth that comes with touch, with a hug, a handshake, or something that will let somebody know that you care. It doesn't take much. And I was telling somebody the other day, sometimes we think it's money that matters, but sometimes it is letting somebody know that they're appreciated,
Mm-hmm.
that they're valued. And that could be by just saying to them, I value you, I appreciate you, you mean something, you're important to me. And I think sometimes in our days of busyness, we forget to tell people how much we appreciate them,
yes.
even for the little things. Now, let me just be clear. Not only do we forget to tell people, we also forget to acknowledge God for the little things that he does for us. And that's something that, in our random acts of kindness, that doing it, it says, as much as you've done it to the least of these, you've done it
Unto me.
unto me.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
if we're going to show kindness, we're actually showing it, to God. So it's
Mhm.
it's really awesome. Thais, what you said something that not every day is a shiny day. Not every day is a day that you feel it. How do you smile through that?
I look at, because I know who he is, and he is God, right? And I know that oftentimes in life, we're going to face challenges, obstacles, and adversities, right? But it's how you get through them. And God, there's this saying, God's not going to take you to it. God's going to bring you through it. And if
Yes.
you know who he is and you trust in him, right? And you speak to him and you know who he is and who you are, you'll be fine. Trust me, sometimes I got to take a minute, and I'm like, God, I'll be like, God, okay, I know this is a test of patience. I know. I'm like, tell me what you want me to do. Sometimes I have to take a pause. Sometimes it's about being able to tap into someone, right? And oftentimes, if I'm frustrated, sometimes I may call Patrice and we may kind of talk through some things, right? So there's a few areas that you can kind of work through when you are struggling or when you are feeling like today's not a good day. I think oftentimes what's really good for people is positive affirmations, right? To get up and say good morning. I look good today. I love me, right? Because nobody gonna love you more than God and yourself, right? So positive affirmations are really, really important. And that's something that I always tell my staff. Trust me. Sometimes my staff feels frustrated. Sometimes even my husband, right? He's like, you're too happy, right? And I'm like, listen, we're up, we're able to see, we take the little things for granted sometimes. While we may be stuck in traffic, but we're able to be in traffic. We're able to have a car. We're able to see. We're able to walk. We're able to talk. We're able to touch, feel, smell. All of these things, I think sometimes people forget to say thank you, God, because some people would love to have those things. So that's why I'm able to kind of work through them,
Yeah.
because I have almost lost one of the activities of my limbs, right? So I know what it's like to break a leg and to take a year to walk again, right? So those things is why I'm so appreciative of life, because I know what it's like to be in a wheelchair. I know what it's like to try to walk and to run again. So that's why I'm very grateful and appreciative.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this real quick story, because sometimes I think with this, what happens, what we're trying to do in these 29 days is just make people aware of the power of love, right? It's like, if illiteracy is a problem, then you have to say it. You have to make people aware that it's a problem, right? So here's a quick story. So I used to take my son Losey, my oldest son Losey. I used to take him to the practice at the Boys Club, Boys and Girls Club, and I would go in, drop him off, and then later on I would come back and get him, right? And I took him to the tryouts, and then he made the team, and so they used to treat him a certain way, and he wasn't as athletic as everybody was on the team. At that point, he wasn't as good as everybody else, but he worked hard and he made the team. So I walk in and I hear that little chatter. So I'm thinking in my mind, right, that they're saying, well, why is he on the team? He's not as talented as everybody else. Why is he on the team? Oh, he's on the team. His father used to play in the NBA, right? And so I was kind of hurt by that. But one day I walked in and I picked him up and I said, "How was practice?" He said, "Well, practice was good." And I put my arm around him, right? And we're walking out the gym when I heard God say, "Turn around and look." And when I turned around and looked, you could see every young man looking at me walk my son out the door with my arm around him. And that's when I realized how important it is that they were missing something in regards to the relationship between the father and the son. So I had to now make myself available when I went in and say, "What's up" to everybody in there and give each and every one of them a hug before I walked
Mm,
out.
that's
So
powerful.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
That's powerful.
it's the thing is becoming aware. Sometimes we just selfish that we just not aware of who needs a hug, who needs a smile, and we need to say hello to.
Wow. Yeah. And that's so crazy. I mean, Monica says, boys need their dad. And I was
Yeah.
literally just on the phone with my cousin from Nashville. And I said, not only do they need their dad, they need their moms.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And why is that important? Because fathers teach them teach the boys the strength, the things, but mothers teach them compassion and love. Right.
Yeah.
And when I looked at, we're going off, track a little bit, but when I've looked at a lot of those young men out there that have had mass murders, they've not had no mother in their life.
Mm.
And so it's critical. Both parents are critical. It's a balance, right? It is such a balance. So even if a mother and father are not together, they've got to work together for a balance in a child's life, so
Mm-hmm.
that that child can, be understand that even if things don't work out, we still can work together, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's critical. And random act of kindness, sometimes you need to teach people that, yeah, they need community, as what Monica said, we need community, we need people to come together. That's why I think ministry in church is important, because I tell people all the time, my kids are successful because of that, because
Mm.
of their involvement and their connection, and because they were people. I remember, let's go back, random act of kindness. Sherelle, my daughter Sherelle, she loved to play the viola. So she went to school and she was learning viola. She was coming home with her viola, and she's, next thing we know, she's sounding stuff out, and she's playing on her viola with her ear, sounding things out, not even reading the music. Charlie and Kim decide for her birthday they're going to buy her a viola so she didn't have to rent the one from school. So they go out and spent $400 or something and just bought her a viola. Kid never played again. It was like, kids don't necessarily understand your random acts of kindness. They don't necessarily appreciate it. But as parents, we were the ones paying for the rental fee for the viola. So we understood the power of that random act of kindness. But teaching your kids to say thank you, teaching your kids to recognize when somebody has done something for them goes a long way. A thank you is just as important as the random act of kindness.
Yes.
And I think that's a critical. I see your husband back there. You have anything to add, sir? I mean, you have that smiling wife all the time. You must be doing something to make her smile.
I don't know. Thais is a special individual. Listen, I think the trials and tribulations that she's been through in her life made her extra special. I think God has blessed her behind her trials and tribulations, and she just goes so overboard. It's funny. I wanted to call you this week, and we'll speak about that another time. But I wanted to call you, and I just wanted to ask you a couple questions of how you always seem like you're at peace. I guess God has blessed certain people, and they're so comfortable in their life, and they believe so much in what they believe in that no matter what comes their way, they work it out. Because I was one of those people that I was always wondering how people committed suicide, and I said, "There's so much to live for." We let the outer world convince us that we're less than, but we're really great. And that's the way. I just love being around her. I mean, she's my therapist too, because sometimes I want to react, and she always finds reasoning. So God bless her.
Yeah, awesome. We want to show a quick video before we sprint off here, and I would like to get your opinion, what you thought about this video.
Target or Enterprise?
Enterprise.
Enterprise. Okay, hold on, guys.
Tonight, an act of kindness at a rental car company in Tulsa goes just viral after an employee goes above and beyond typical customer service.
2 Works for You reporter Corey Duke shares that story with us tonight and the incredible reward the employee received for his generosity.
With more than 20,000 shares and nearly 160,000 likes on social media, this act of kindness is winning the internet. A simple gesture now also winning people's hearts. The daily grind at Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Hey, Danny.
But something is different.
Hello.
There's an extra set of hands making calls.
Hey.
And a simple act of kindness that's changing the world.
I say we take this and we do the best we can to just keep motivating people.
One picture now shared nearly 25,000 times on social media, inspiring people to spread the love.
To see it come out this far and to still be making noise and making waves, it's something that you just got to be grateful for and just take as a blessing.
John Goodlett loves his job and he loves people, but he can't seem to understand all the fuss surrounding the picture showing him holding a customer's child.
Having a bad day, I should say. And
a hit-and-run wreck left this mother alone with a set of twins in the back seat. She needed someone to help, but she never expected someone like John.
Him saying that I was a twin mom in need of an extra set of hands, it definitely was a message from God.
John, also a twin, knew just what to do.
I'm going to do this out of kindness of my heart because, you need somebody else to pack this other kid for you. I mean, you can't pack them both in 2 hands inside Enterprise. When you want to pick this car up?
11-month-old Levi spent his Enterprise experience in the hands of this dedicated employee, while his brother Holt enjoyed alone time with his mom. Even the company noticed, giving John what he calls the greatest reward.
The reward was to give back to the first sports program I got to play for as a kid.
The North Mabee Boys and Girls Club, special to John when he was a child, now also benefiting from his kindness.
I think that this world would be a better place if we all were just be a John. And we have to be that change that we want to see. We want to see more people like John. Well, it starts with us.
By the way, the hashtag #BeAJohn is even catching on. It's a phrase this mom hopes people will associate with a random act of kindness. Corey Duke, 2 Works for.
Go pay it forward. I love it. I love it.
Hey, that's exactly right. I mean, and we're seeing that every day, different things, different people are going outside. And if we could have more of those people coming in and impacting us, we'll be even better for it. So I'm so grateful to be part of the Random Act of Kindness.
Yeah. And let me say this, man, this is what we have to be aware of. Right. And I've been saying it almost every day because I believe it. I'm just going to use an example. If 5%, right, of the people in the world doing something negative, doing negative things, but yet 95% of the people are doing something good, but the 5% gets 95% of the attention, is what we see every day on news. Right? We just keep spreading bad news. So what we have to do is change the paradigm and make people aware of the 95% that are doing good.
Yes.
So it can impact the 5%.
Yes.
Right?
And that's why when Thais comes in with that smile, she impacts the building. She impacts everybody that she comes around, and she can make a person's bad day become a better day and even a great day. And I am completely privileged to experience that. And even the other day when I was when I found out that my cousin had died suddenly, the first person that came to mind for me to call to be there was Thais. And she dropped everything she was doing and she made sure that I was okay. Was even willing to drive all the way to Mount Vernon to take me home, but I wouldn't let her. But that's the kind of person that she is naturally.
That's right. So Thais, we want to thank you for coming on.
Thais and Al.
And
let me just say, can I tell you about Al's act of kindness? Can I tell you about Al's random act of kindness? I just got to tell you.
All right.
So what had happened was, we were at Thais's 50th birthday, and I happened to like lamb chops a lot. I walk into the door, and the people were going around with the tray with the lamb chops on it. Brother Al says, sit down. He sits me down in the chair and tells the person to put the lamb chops in front of me. That wasn't a random act of kindness. I don't know what was, but I mean, you talk about, I'm still thinking about, I want to go back up to that place just to hang out.
She was protecting them. Everybody, can I get one? She said, no, I don't think.
Aisha aunt came over. I was like, she said, can I have? I said, you can have one.
Real quick before you go, the young man that I hired for the photo booth, first time ever doing a photo booth, wasn't licensed, but I had to sign a waiver to give him permission that we would be responsible if something happened. The owner of the venue called me last week and said, we'd like to add him to our roster. He was so polite and so professional. I did reach out to him and connected them together, and now he's officially a part of their venue.
Yes.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
That's God.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
So. We got to get
Thank
off.
you for having me on. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Lowe's.
You're
really
welcome.
Thank you, Patrice. Thank you for inviting me.
Right. Thank you for being there. See, Monica says, as a teacher in my class, I tell my students, we say thank you and show our good manners should be manners all the time. I don't see that in other classes, but in Miss Russell's class, we are a family, a community, and we love each other, and this is important. And that's exactly right. So be a John, be a Thais, be a Al, be a Lowe's, be a Patrice, be a Monica. But what you should do is be like Jesus. And if you can do that, you will always have a random act of kindness, a random act of love, and be a blessing to somebody else.
Awesome. Enjoy the day.
Enjoy the day, everybody.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye. You want to say anything else?
A.D. Williams once said, imagine what 7 billion humans could accomplish if we loved and respected one another. Just imagine. Imagine if there was no greed. Imagine if there was no comparison. If everyone was running their own race, but cheering for all others at the same time. Maybe we'll never see that in our lifetime. But what we all can do is start with ourselves. Start with yourself. Choose to lift others up. Choose to set the example of kindness and integrity, the example of compassion and understanding. There's a quote that says, no matter how educated, talented, rich, or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all. Integrity is everything. It really is. Who you are is far more important than what you have, and it will always be. Who you are is measured by how you make others feel. Be kind to each other. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Choose to be the change you wish to see in the world. Decide you will not wait for someone else. You will set the example. Be kind. Because you never know how much that person is suffering inside. You never know the difference your words can make, the difference your presence can make, the difference you can make to one human life. Be the reason someone believes in the goodness of humanity. Be the reason someone else decides to make a difference in others. Be the influence you want to see more of. Always do what is right, not what is easy in the moment. Kindness spreads like a virus. When you do good to another, that person does better to those they come in contact with. You really can make a big difference in the world today and every other day. Anne Frank said, in the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit. No one has ever made themselves great by showing how small another is. Be kind and always build others up to the best of your ability. Treat everyone with the same level of kindness that you would like for yourself. Not because everyone is nice, but because you are. Because karma makes no mistakes. Because it is right. Because you have integrity. Because you want this world to be better when you leave than when you arrive.